Hi, my name is Heather French. My student ID number is 3309588, and then I'm in the Intro to Veterinary Technology course 1301-31423. Alright, I hope you enjoy my AVMA required video task project.
Alright, so now for this video we're going to do a dog nail trim. The supplies that you'll need are a good pair of dog nail trimmers, some gauze, and then either some silver nitrate sticks, or today we're going to use some styptic powder or quick stop. So once you have your supplies gathered, you'll need someone. I'm having Carly here restrain Vader for me. If you're doing it by yourself and your dog is a little wiggly, it does make it very difficult, so I would definitely recommend having someone help hold the dog. And the way that they should hold it would be kind of kneeling next to the dog, and then she's going to put one arm around his neck and then one under his body just to support him. Okay, so now that he's situated, we're going to start trimming his nails. Now if he had longer hair that was growing over the nails, I would push that back so you could fully see the nails before you start trimming. And then what you want to look for is the quick area. So with these white nails, you can see pretty well from the side where the pink is where you want to avoid cutting, and the white part is where you want to actually trim. He does have one black nail on here, so with that one I'm gonna kind of just stay within that tapered little tip there, just taking little bits off at a time so I don't hit the quick. Okay, so here I'm just gonna take that tip off and then just taking little bits off. Okay, so then you kind of get like a pinky bullseye in the middle of the nail, and that's where the quick is starting, so I know that I need to stop. So then I'll move on to the next nail. Take that tip off and then just kind of work off little bits at a time until I start to see that pink. And then with the black nails, instead of pink, you're gonna see like a black bullseye in the middle. And I can start to see that forming right there. Okay, now if I had hit any of his quicks, I would definitely need to use some quick stop. So to do that, I would pour a little bit onto a gauze pad. And then I would take one of those nails, or the nail that's bleeding I should say, and push it into that powder and apply some pressure. And then that is how you would stop the bleeding from occurring from that nail. Okay, so that would be how you do a doggy nail trim. Okay, so for this next demonstration I'm going to do a cat nail trim. The supplies that I'm going to use are some styptic powder. You could also use silver nitrate sticks, a little bit of gauze, and that's what I would pour the powder on when I apply it to the cat's nail if I hit the quick, and then a pair of pet nail clippers. So it's important to not hit the quick, because the quick is the blood supply, the nerves of the nail. So when you hit it, it can be painful to the cat. Also, then you'll have to clean up the bloody mess. And if you cut it back too far, it can also potentially lead to infection. When it comes to doing this task, you may need to do some restraining with your cat. So that could be someone holding the cat for you. That can be very helpful. Today I'm going to use the towel restraint. So I'm going to kind of make him into a kitty burrito here. I know, he's not liking it. And his front nails are actually already trimmed, so today I'm going to be working on his back nails. So in this case I'm kind of having his head secured with the towel, but I still have his back feet exposed, kind of tucking this nice and snug around him. Alright, and now that I'm in position, I'm going to trim his nails. So Alan has really fuzzy feet, so I'm going to have to pull back that hair in order to fully see the nail. When I'm looking for the quick on these nails, that's the pink part. Okay, so there's a little bit of pink here, and then this white tip is what we're going to take off. And you can take little bits off at a time until you get just before that pink part.
Okay, now on a black nail, you would just look for where the hook is on the nail and just kind of work back a little bit into that hook. You could potentially see the quick, which would kind of be a little bullseye in the middle of the nail. But typically with cats, their nails have that nice hook taper, so you can pretty much see where you need to go. You can kind of take rough edges as you go. I know, I gotta show them your toe though. Alright, pushing that hair back. Sometimes that can be the hardest part. Just kind of getting those edges. Alright, now, so if I had hit the quick on his nails, what I would need to do is I would take my gauze, kind of put that next to me, pour a little bit of that styptic powder out on there. And I would push that nail out. Just by pushing on that toe underneath, you can advance the nail out. And then push that nail into the pad where the styptic powder is, and just hold some pressure until the bleeding stops. Alright, and just kind of wipe it clean. And that would be how you do a kitty nail trim. I know.
Okay, so for this next demonstration, I'm going to demonstrate on how to pill a dog. The supplies that you need would be the capsule or the pill that you'd be giving the dog. In this case, I'm just going to be using a treat. And then once you have your supplies gathered, the next thing will be focusing on the restraint of the dog. Some dogs you might need to back against a wall or in a corner. Smaller dogs you could wrap in a towel. Another thing you can do is kind of use your body and use like your back leg to kind of just put some support so the dog can't back away from you. When you're ready, you're going to use your non-dominant hand to grab the dog's muzzle just kind of above the canine teeth, above and behind them. And then you're going to use your dominant hand to pinch the pill and use your middle finger to kind of open the jaw like on the lower incisors. So I'm going to open, push back that pill, and then I'm going to close his mouth and ensure that he swallows. So a sure sign for that is that he's licking his nose. If he wasn't, I'd keep his mouth closed and I'd kind of just stroke his chin or his throat, or you could always blow in the dog's nose gently, and that can encourage the dog to swallow the pill. And that's how you pill a dog.
Alright, so in this next demonstration, I'm going to pill a cat. The supplies that I will be needing will be a treat in placement of a pill or a capsule. I'm also going to use a towel, and this is going to help me restrain him. And you could also have someone else help hold the cat, but for today I'm just going to use this. So I'm going to kind of wrap him up in this towel and make him into a little kitty burrito. Kind of tuck him all in there. Okay. And then I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to hold and control his head. And I'm going to do this by grabbing his cheekbones, or you can go right behind his canine teeth, his upper canine teeth. And then I'm going to take the pill in my dominant hand. I'm going to use my middle finger to push down his jaw, tilt his head back, and push that into the back of his throat with my index finger. Okay, I'm going to just kind of, you can rub here if they haven't swallowed, but Alan licked, so that's a sure sign that he swallowed the pill. And that is how you pill a cat.
Alright, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to collect a urine on a male dog. The supplies that you'll need will be a clean tray. You can use like a Tupperware container. Today we're going to use a vaccine tray, an empty vaccine tray. Another thing that would be good to have would be gloves. This just kind of is a good practice of good hygiene, and it can also protect you from potentially coming in contact with diseases that could be spread through the dog's urine. You also want to have your dog on a short leash because you want to have them close to you so you're able to get the urine when they're starting to go and not have them too far from you. The other thing that's going to be important when collecting the urine is getting a mainstream sample. So that means that I'm going to let the dog go for a couple seconds before I start to collect the urine. And this is really important to prevent me from getting extra contaminants that would be from the external portion of the dog, like the pupus area, that would be then added and collected into the sample. Alright, so now I'm going to go. I'm going to kind of encourage Vader to try to go and urinate, and I'll collect the urine. So here we go. Come on, bud. starting to go, and now I'm going to go under there. I let him pee a little before I started collecting it. And I got a nice full tray of urine. So now I'll take this inside the veterinary office and let the technicians do a urinalysis on it.
Alright, so for this last video, I'm going to show you how to apply a soft gauze muzzle. The supplies that you need would be some soft rolled gauze. This would be like a 1-inch gauze that you'd use for a smaller sized dog. Today with Mr. Vader, I'm going to use a 2-inch, just because he's got a little bit larger and longer of a snout or muzzle. So to start, I kind of fold this in half, and I tie a knot at the very top here. And that kind of creates like a weight for it when you go to lure it over the pet's muzzle. Then I'm going to kind of create a loop or crisscross here and make a loose knot. And then I'm going to guide that over the dog's muzzle. And I'm going to pull down. And then I'm going to cross back under and crisscross on the bottom. And I'll pull it up behind his ears and tie it in a quick release bow. So this will be important for when I want to take it off. It'll come off easily, and then if there's a situation where it needs to come off ASAP, it'll come off as easy as it could. Alright, so the kind of way to tell that it's tight enough is if the pet can eat a treat, which he can lick at it, but he can't really open his mouth enough to eat it. Alright, so that's the way to know that he would, that the gauze muzzle is applied properly. Alright, and then when it comes time to release it, I just kind of pull that bow free, and then I kind of just pull forward. He kind of helped me out, and now the muzzle is off. And that's how you do a soft gauze muzzle. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our video.